Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a lip product declutter. I am ready to downsize my lip product collection. I am feeling overwhelmed lately and I just feel like there are a lot of expired products and just things that I don't use anymore. So anything that I can donate to friends and family, I will definitely be donating, and anything that is completely expired I will have to toss out. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, but before I get into it, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you do enjoy it, and let's get into it. So let me just give you a quick tour of where I'm keeping all of my lip products. This first drawer is where I keep all of my lip glosses, and I do have a couple of lip balms in there. And then in this one, I have all of my lipsticks, including liquid lipsticks. I have a couple of lip stains here that I'm still testing. These are from Sushi Glow. I did pick up 2 shades. I'm still trying to figure out how I best like to apply them. So these are still in the testing phase, but they are super cute, very, very pigmented. And then in this drawer, I do have some more lip products. I decided to put my lip oils in here because they didn't fit in the lip gloss drawer anymore. So I moved them to this container, and then here I have my lip liners. So I am gonna go ahead and start decluttering. I already know that I have quite a few expired lip glosses in here, so I'd rather just start with this container and get it out of the way. The Lawless Forget the Filler lip gloss in the shade George. This one I'm definitely not getting rid of because this is one of my most used lip glosses. There's something about this undertone that makes it the perfect lip gloss to pair with purple or cool toned eyeshadow looks, so I always end up reaching for this one whenever I do looks like that. And the doe foot applicator is really nice and cushioned. This is a lip gloss from the Patrick Ta and Barbie collection. So this is in the shade Malibu Dream House, which is a very, very pretty pink. And I was really looking forward to trying this lip gloss formula because I feel like I've heard pretty good things about it, but I found this to be extremely stringy on my lips. I only used it a couple of times, so I'm gonna see if anyone that I know likes this one. This one I think I'm also going to declutter. This is from Fenty Beauty, and this is one of their gloss bombs, which I am a fan of, but unfortunately I just didn't care for this shade. It's supposed to be like a holographic type of shade, but it really just ended up looking like a gold lip gloss on me. So here is the Fenty Gloss Bomb, which is in the shade Hologram. Very pretty gloss, but I really just don't reach for it. I also went ahead and swatched the Barbie Patrick Ta lip gloss underneath it. So that is in the shade Malibu Dream House. And then right underneath that is the Lawless Forget the Filler lip gloss in the shade George. This Tower 28 lip balm, or I guess it's a lip butter. Okay, Lip Softy Tinted Lip Treatment. This one is in the shade Dulce de Leche. I like this one, but honestly, I wouldn't repurchase this one. I just wish it were a little bit thicker. That's just my personal preference when it comes to lip butters and lip balms. So I find that this one, because it is a thinner texture, it kind of just slides around my lips easily, but I still wear it. I usually just use it to prep my lips before makeup, or sometimes I just keep it in my purse. But I also really don't care for the applicator. It just feels a little bit cheap to me, so definitely not a repurchase, but I am going to keep using it. But here it is swatched. It does have some nice pigment to it, so I do like that about it. Another lip balm that I am keeping is the Ole Henriksen Pow Preserve Peptide Lip Treatment. I want to try one of their tinted ones in the future, but I do really like this clear one. It does smell really good and it is intensely hydrating, so I really like this one to prep my lips for makeup. I will definitely be repurchasing this one in the future. The Laneige Lip Glowy Balm. This one I have in the shade Berry. Kind of like with the Tower 28 one, I feel like this one is just okay. It's hydrating, but I do wish it were a little bit thicker just so that it lasts longer. So this one is okay. I do prefer the Lip Sleeping Mask, but here is the shade Berry. Not as pigmented as the Tower 28 one, but it does give a very slight tint to the lips. And I am actually going to take out all of my mini Fenty gloss bombs because I do have quite a few of these. So sadly, I'm gonna have to declutter a few of these because some of these I've had since 2019, believe it or not. Okay, these are from the 2019 Fenty Holiday Collection. They came in a little box. or actually it was like a collectible tin, which I do still have somewhere. I have noticed a change in texture and they don't smell quite the same as they used to, so I really think I should get rid of these, even though I really don't want to. Especially this shade. This one is my favorite. This one is in the shade Confetti, and I really don't have anything quite like this in my collection. It's a really pretty iridescent lip gloss. It has a bit of a pink, blue, and purple shift to it, so it's just a really pretty and unique shade. But yeah, this one is very, very old, along with the other ones that came in the set. I really enjoyed these, but unfortunately they are expired. So like I said, this one is in the shade Confetti, and then this pink one is called Pretty Please. This orange one is called Cheeky. This one is Fenty Glow Fantasy, so it does look a little bit warmer than the original Fenty Glow shade, and it does have a lot more shimmer. And then this one is Hot Chocolate Fantasy, which is another favorite of mine. I went ahead and swatched them, so from top to bottom are Confetti, Pretty Please, Cheeky, Fenty Glow Fantasy, and Hot Chocolate Fantasy. So sadly, these 5 I am getting rid of, but I am keeping these 3 minis. These are not expired, but this one is in the shade Hot Chocolate. This is one of my favorite shades from the Fenty Gloss Bombs. And then I'm also keeping Fussy, and this one, which is a glittery champagne. This one is called Champ Stamp Fantasy. So here are those 3 shades: Hot Chocolate, Fussy, and Champ Stamp Fantasy. I just love the Gloss Bomb formula. I can't get enough of the shades that they come out with. These lifter glosses from Maybelline, I'm honestly not a fan of. I did declutter quite a few other shades at one point, I think maybe like a year ago, but I've been holding on to these 2 shades for some reason, but I think it is time to get rid of them. So this one is called Sweetheart, and it's a really pretty orange, but I just don't reach for it. I don't know what it is about this formula that I just don't enjoy the feel of. Like, there's something uncomfortable about it when it's on my lips. I really can't explain it. I used to like them more, but just for some reason over the years, I just haven't really enjoyed it. So I'm going to get rid of that one, and I'm also going to declutter this one, which is a really pretty bronzy gold shade. So here is Sweetheart and Topaz. Next up, I have the Buxom Lip Plumping Creams. I love these, and I remember using them constantly when I purchased them. I just really love this formula because it is minty, and it's not plumping like a typical lip plumper. It's really just a super minty feeling on the lips and kind of cooling, which I really enjoy. But these, unfortunately, are expired. I don't even know when these are from, but I'm pretty sure this one is from 2019, or maybe not. I honestly don't remember when it's from, but this is in the shade Mexican Hot Chocolate, which was one of my favorite lip glosses in my collection. I was using this constantly at one point, and actually let me look up when this is from. Okay, never mind. This one is actually from 2022. I don't know why I thought this was way older, so actually, I'm kind of tempted to keep this one. I don't think it smells bad. Yeah, it doesn't smell bad, and I don't really notice any weird textures, so I'm actually gonna keep this one. I feel like I could completely use this one up within a year because it is very much more than halfway gone, I'm pretty sure. But look at how pretty that is. And it does smell like cocoa. It smells really nice. And then this one is called Pumpkin Chai Latte. This one I also really love, but I'm going to look up when this is from before I decide to declutter it because it might not be as old as I'm thinking. Okay, so Pumpkin Chai Latte is actually from 2020, which is not as old as I was thinking, but it's still going on 5 years old. So maybe I should declutter it, but I'm kind of tempted to just keep it and try to use it up because I really don't have much product left. And then this one is Pumpkin Pie Latte. This one is a lighter warm nude. This one is actually from 2023, so I am going to keep all 3 actually. These Too Faced lip plumpers, I keep forgetting to use these for some reason, so I am going to try to use them more often. But this one in the shade Chocolate Plump, this one I'm almost done with. It is a really frosty shade, but I don't mind because I do wipe it off after a few minutes. But I really like these Too Faced lip plumpers. They are intense, but that's what I like about them. And then this one in the shade Maple Syrup Pancakes. This one does have a really strong fragrance. So I don't love that about this one, but I do really like the shade. It is a very sweet scent, so it kind of smells like a very sweet fall candle. So there is chocolate plump and maple syrup pancakes, but I am keeping both of these. And then another Too Faced lip plumper. I don't know the exact name of this, but it does say lip injection. But this is in the shade Secure the Bag. I'm going to keep this one even though it is, I want to say like 3 or 4 years old, but I'm almost done with it. So that is the shade Secure the Bag. I'm realizing how many lip plumpers I actually have. Like, I knew I had a lot of them, but I'm seeing just how many I do have. But these are from e.l.f. and these are the lip plumping glosses. I'm going to keep both of these because I do really enjoy this formula. This one is my most used shade. This one is called Praline, and these do give a burning feeling to the lips, so not really like minty or cooling. These are more so like a traditional lip plumping gloss feeling. So yeah, I like how intense these are. And then this one is in the shade Mocha Twist. This is more like a peachy shade. So there is Praline and Mocha Twist. I have another lip gloss from e.l.f. This is the Sun Boss Gloss with Broad Spectrum SPF 25. I do like that this one has SPF, and I think this is the only one in my makeup collection that does have SPF in it, but I don't love this formula. I just don't think it lasts that long on my lips. I like to carry this one in my purse because it does have SPF, so I do use it and I am going to use it up. And this one is in the shade It's Your Mauve. These two from ColourPop. These are from the Pokemon collection, which did come out last year. These glosses I think are just okay. I feel like they're a little bit different from the formula that I used to really like. Like, I know these are still the ultra glossy lip, but there's just something different about it. So not my favorite lip gloss formula, but I do like it overall. So the More Gold one is in the shade Thunderstone, and then the one underneath it is Firestone. Yeah, they look very, very similar. On the lips, they look pretty much identical, so I really don't need both. But since I do have them, I am going to use them. I have another very glittery lip gloss, and this is the Wet n Wild Color Icon lip gloss in the shade Spiced Sugar. I do like this one, but I think it's just okay. It does smell really good though. I've only used it a handful of times, so I can't really say why I think it's just okay. But this was from the 2024 Christmas collection, which surprisingly I didn't hear too much buzz about. But I am going to keep this one. This one I'm also keeping. This is from Bite Beauty, which is no longer around, unfortunately. And I know this one is technically expired, but it does seem to work just fine. But this is in the shade Cider Donut. I haven't seen any other lip glosses with this type of applicator, but this is a twist up component. Yeah, it doesn't smell bad. It doesn't look weird, so I'm going to keep it. This one I'm kind of torn about. This is from Glamlight, and this was from the Rick and Morty collection, but I don't remember much about this lip gloss because it's been a while since I used it. I just remember it being very glittery and almost metallic on the lips, which I wasn't a huge fan of. So maybe I'll keep it and give it another try and see if I end up liking it. So I think I am gonna keep it. I kind of just want to give it another try before I declutter it. This one I am keeping. This one is from L'Oreal, and I can never remember what this lip gloss is called. Yeah, it doesn't have the shade name anywhere, but I do really like this one. This doe foot applicator is really interesting, but I do really like this lip gloss because it is very hydrating, and I really like this shade. It's like a mid-tone rose. And then the last lip product from this container is from NARS. I thought it was a lipstick, but this is actually a lip balm. This is the Afterglow Lip Balm in the shade Laguna. I have used this one a few times, but I honestly don't care for it. I didn't think it was that moisturizing, and I didn't really care for the shade. I forgot how sheer this one is, so I did have to go over it a few times. So I'm going to keep it for at least a little bit longer and see if I can get some use out of it. But honestly, I feel like I'm going to end up decluttering it one way or another. So that is it for this container. And before I move on to the other one, I'm going to move on to lip oils. This container right here, I really don't think I'm going to declutter much of. The only one I'm seeing that I'm decluttering is this one from e.l.f. This is the Jelly Pop Glow Reviver Lip Oil. There's just something kind of off about this formula. From what I remember, this one's a lot stickier than their regular Glow Reviver Lip Oil. And I also didn't really like this shade, so I'm going to declutter this one. but the rest of them I am keeping because I love all of them. And I'm gonna go ahead and swatch all of these just so you can see how they compare. So from top to bottom, we have Honey Talks, Money Mauve, Rose Envy, Apology Tour, Candy Coated, Super Neutral, Choco Luxe, Keep Your Cool, Spice Things Up, and Jelly Pop. The Jelly Pop one is one of the most sheer shades. Yeah, I just expected it to be more glittery and a little bit more pigmented. And I also really didn't like the fake watermelon scent, but those are all of my e.l.f. lip oils at the moment. So as for the rest of these lip oils, I'm not going to be decluttering any of them because I really do use all of these, but I'm just going to quickly run through the ones that I have. These I've been loving. These are the L'Oreal Plump Ambition Hyaluronic Lip Oils. These are a plumping lip oil, so they do have that tingly, almost burning feeling on the lips. So if you don't like that feeling, I really don't think you're gonna like these. But I really like these because they're super comfortable and they are very hydrating. I had first purchased this shade. This one is called Worth It, but I liked it so much that I purchased this one. This one is called La Nuit Sparkle. So I love both of these. They honestly feel like a high-end lip product. These two from Milani I also really like. I already went through an entire tube of a different shade, but this one is Honey Fig, and then I also have Black Cherry Vanilla, which is such an interesting shade because it is almost a black shade, but it ends up looking more like a deep berry color on me. But I really love this lip oil formula. I would say it's a little bit thinner than the one from e.l.f., but it's still very nourishing. I forgot to swatch the L'Oreal lip oil, so that is the shade Worth It, and then underneath it is La Nuit Sparkle. And then here is Honey Fig and Black Cherry Vanilla from Milani. This one from Wet n Wild. This is the only lip oil that I've tried from them. And this one I think is just okay. Not a lot of product comes off of the doe foot applicator, so I think that's what I don't really like about this one. And I also feel like this gets a little bit sticky once I've had it on my lips for a few minutes or when it starts to rub off. So I like it, but I also don't love it. But it does smell really good. It smells just like the Wet n Wild Christmas lip gloss. It has kind of like a sweet cookie scent. And this is in the shade Iced Baby. It's a glittery warm nude shade. And then finally for lip oils, I have the Haus Labs pH Hybrid Lip Glaze, which I guess they're technically a lip gloss, but they are more like a hybrid. So I have the shades Persimmon, Praline, and Honey Shimmer. My most used one is definitely Praline. It's a brown nude, so it goes with a lot of different looks that I do, but I've also really been enjoying Honey Shimmer, and Persimmon is a really pretty red, so I love all three of these. So here are all of the lip glosses that I am keeping. That looks so much better and it's going to be easier for me to find what I'm looking for. I am done with lip glosses. I'm going to move on to lipsticks. So this container, which is packed to the brim, I used to have way more liquid lipsticks, but I did declutter most of them, I want to say last year and maybe the year before that. So I don't have that many, but it's still too much for me because I really don't use liquid lipsticks all that often. So that is going to be my main focus, I want to say. This Smashbox one I am going to keep, however, because this one I do use from time to time, especially when I want a pinky nude. Just like with any liquid lipstick, this one can be a bit drying, so I don't use it that often for that reason, but I just really like this shade, and as long as I don't apply too much, it doesn't get too drying for me, so I am gonna keep this one. And this is in the shade Stepping Out. I also have this other shade in the Smashbox liquid lipstick. This one is called Out Loud, which is an orange. And I used to love shades like this, but I don't feel like they're that flattering on me anymore. I think my preferences have just changed over the years, so I'm gonna declutter this one. I really used to love shades like this on me, but I'm just not that comfortable wearing them anymore. This one from Maybelline, I'm also going to declutter because I really don't use red liquid lipsticks. And this formula, even though it is a liquid lipstick, is pretty sticky. So I just don't like the way it feels. So this is the shade Pioneer. And honestly, this looks more like a pink to me. It's like a pinky red, which I'm not a fan of. If I'm gonna wear red, I'd rather just wear like a brick red or something warmer, but pinky reds I don't really like. These liquid lipsticks from Too Faced, I think I'm gonna keep the shade Cinnamon Bun. Every once in a while when I do want a light nude shade, I like to reach for this one. So I'm gonna keep that one, but I am gonna declutter this one. It is a pretty shade, but it's just not something that I ever wear. And this one is in the shade PSL, so Pumpkin Spice Latte. It looks like a mid-tone terracotta shade. Very pretty, but again, I just never use it, so I'm only going to keep the shade Cinnamon Bun. This one from MAC I am going to keep because this is one of my all-time favorite pinky brown shades. And this is the Powder Kiss Liquid Lip Color in the shade Over the Taupe. This is more like a moussey consistency, so even though it is technically a liquid lipstick, it's not as drying as a traditional liquid lipstick, so I do really enjoy this one. Another liquid lipstick that I am going to declutter because this red, even though it is very pretty, is just not something that I ever wear. Even though I love the idea of wearing a red lip color, I just never actually wear them. And this formula is so intensely pigmented that honestly, it's a little bit much for me. That is such a gorgeous brick red shade. So ideally, I would love to wear shades like this, but it's just not something that I feel comfortable with because it can get really messy. Another red that I just never wear, but I do think is very pretty is this one from About Face. And this is in the shade Serrated Bite. This formula is a lot thinner than the Fenty Beauty one. So this is more like your traditional liquid lipstick formula that does dry down, but it's still not completely transfer proof. I do really like this red shade, but I just never wear it. I have two more of the About Face liquid lipsticks, and these are actually called the Painted Lip Colors. So I'm only going to keep this one, which is called Burnt Sienna. And this is the kind of shade that I like to reach for in the fall because it is a warm brown shade. So I'm going to keep this one, but I am going to declutter this one, which is called So Long Summer. This is like a cool toned mauve shade, but it does lean purple. I just don't find it to be flattering on me. So I'm going to get rid of this one and I'm going to keep Burnt Sienna. So that is Burnt Sienna, which is a warm brown shade, and So Long Summer. That one really does look purple now that I swatched it. I'm going to keep this one from Urban Decay. I think this is the Vice Lip Bond or something like that, but it's technically a liquid lipstick. And I got this one in the shade Law of Attraction. I'm pretty sure I wore this shade either on Christmas Eve or New Year. No, I think it was Christmas Eve because I remember wearing it with a red eyeshadow look. So yeah, I'm going to keep this one. It is a little bit sticky, kind of like the Maybelline liquid lipstick, but not quite as sticky as that one. I do find this one to be more comfortable than that. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. This is the ColourPop Fresh Kiss Lip Cream, and this is in the shade Smoochin', which I think is a light nude. I don't reach for this one because I don't really like this shade, and I don't love the formula, so I'm going to get rid of it. Another one from ColourPop, but this one is a pH adjusting lip balm. I hated the way that this one tasted, and I really didn't like the pink tint that it gave my lips, so I am going to get rid of this one. It is really cute. It was from the ColourPop Pokemon collection. I love Jigglypuff, but unfortunately this one just didn't work for me. It also wasn't really moisturizing. It kind of just left like a weird, slick, and almost greasy feeling on my lips, so it's really just pretty to look at, which I'm not going to keep it just for that, so I'm going to declutter it. These lipsticks from REM I am going to be keeping. I actually really like REM's packaging, and these lipsticks, even though I haven't used them in a while, I do like them. They kind of smell like MAC lipsticks, so they do smell like vanilla, and I would say these are matte, but not super drying. They almost feel like a moussey lipstick. They're super, super soft though, so I do have to be careful with these. So at the top is tiramisu, and then underneath it is wine and dine. I used to wear these all the time, but I kind of just forgot about them. But they are really nice lipsticks, so I'm gonna keep them. The Rare Beauty matte lipsticks. I don't know what lipstick got on this one, but I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that off. But here are the shades Wise and Gifted. I use both of these pretty much equally. It kind of just depends on what look I'm doing, so I'm definitely keeping these. This one I also love. This is the e.l.f. O-Face Satin Lipstick in the shade Drive. This packaging feels almost like high-end. It does have a magnetic closure, which is really, really nice. So that is the shade Drive. This one is, of course, a satin finish. I'm also going to keep these Wet n Wild Rich Satin Lipsticks. These are just a really nice satin lipstick formula that isn't drying, and the shades are very pretty as well. I have the shades Hush Low Beige and Brandy Kiss. And then another one from Wet n Wild, and this one I'm also going to keep. This is one of my all-time favorite brown lipsticks, but unfortunately they don't make it anymore. This was from the Peanuts and Wet n Wild collection from, I think, a couple of years ago. But I think this one has a matte finish, whereas the other two that I just showed you have a satin finish. Yeah, this one is definitely matte. Wet n Wild really needs to make this one permanent because I just love this one. And I just noticed that I forgot to talk about this one from About Face. I do have another one of these in the shade Deja Brew, which is a really, really deep brown. And I do really like this shade, but I just never wear shades like this anymore. It's just a little bit too bold for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. But here it is swatched. I think my camera makes it look a little bit deeper than it actually is, but it is still a very deep brown shade. I'm keeping all three of these Milani matte lipsticks, even though they can be a little bit drying, but I just really like these shades. And the formula is very pigmented and smooth. They almost feel like a high-end lipstick, so I'm gonna keep all three. So here are the shades Tease, Passion, and Desire. This one I've had for, honestly, I wanna say like 6 years plus, and it's another one of those red liquid lipsticks that I never reach for, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. It's a very, very thin and liquidy formula, and I do remember it transferring pretty easily, but this is a shade Star Woman. This luxe lipstick from ColourPop, I don't even know that they make it anymore. This is in the shade LA Lady. Surprisingly, this lipstick looks okay, even though it is, I want to say, 5 to 6 years old. So I'm kind of tempted to just keep it. I used to use this one all the time. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep it. I know I probably shouldn't, but honestly, it doesn't look expired. And I feel like this would look really pretty as a blush, which I don't think I've ever tried before. So I might have to try that and try to use this one up. These Merit lipsticks I'm definitely keeping because this is one of my favorite formulas, and I think these are called the Signature Lip. Yeah, these are the Signature Lip Lightweight Lipstick, which I do agree that this formula is lightweight, and I love that it's buildable, so you can just do a really sheer layer or you can build it up. So I have the shades Slip and 1990. They look kind of similar, at least on camera they do, but Slip is more neutral, whereas 1990 is a cool tone leaning brown shade. But I love this lipstick formula, so definitely keeping those. This one I'm going to be decluttering, and it's just a sample, but I just don't see the point in keeping it. I was really excited to try this because this is my first Gucci lipstick, and it's a really pretty shade, but I just don't think it looks flattering on me. Maybe with the right lip liner, I could make it work for me, but I just haven't liked the way that this looks. This is in the shade Janet Rust. Yeah, I really like that shade. I don't know, maybe I need to give it another try. Maybe with a specific lip liner, I would really like it. But I think I'm just gonna declutter it. I'm also going to declutter this one from Profusion. I think this is supposed to be a lip gloss, but honestly, this feels like a liquid lipstick. This is from an advent calendar that Profusion came out with during the holidays, and I liked a lot of the things that came in there, but this one I don't see myself using. I am running out of room, so I'm going to have to remove these swatches very soon, but that is a very pretty red, but I think it's one of those formulas that doesn't completely dry down, which for me is just not ideal, especially because it's a deep red. I have another Powder Kiss lipstick from MAC, but this one is a bullet lipstick, and this is in the shade Devoted to Chili, which I had always wanted to try, and then one day I saw it at Marshall's and I just had to purchase it, so I got this one, I'm pretty sure, for under $15. It might have been like $10 actually. So this is like a warm, rusty red, but it's not too deep. I actually feel comfortable wearing a red like this because it does have that warmth to it. So I do really like this one. I really need to wear it more often. And actually, let me compare it to the Gucci one that I decluttered. I'm just really curious how these look side by side. So at the top is Devoted to Chili, and then underneath it is Janet Rust. So similar but not identical. I do prefer Devoted to Chili though. The Give lipstick in the shade Lovable Me. I do like this one, but I don't reach for it that often. I remember it being kind of similar to the MAC Powder Kiss lipstick, but maybe not as matte. It is a matte finish, but I don't remember it being too drying. So I'm definitely going to try to use this one more often because it is a really nice lipstick formula. I'm going to be keeping both of these Revlon Super Lustrous lipsticks. I'm pretty sure they reformulated these, but I haven't tried those yet. But these don't seem to be expired, so I just keep using them. So I have the shades Nude Illuminator and Sparkling Honey. These have a very shiny finish and they are very moisturizing. So they kind of feel like a hybrid between a lipstick and a lip gloss. Yeah, they don't look weird or anything. And they don't smell bad, so I'm gonna keep them. I haven't used these Essence lipsticks in a while, but I do remember liking them. And these have a satin finish. I have the shades Bold and Lovable. I think I'm gonna keep these though because I haven't given them enough of a chance. And I do like these shades. Okay, I actually have one more Revlon Super Lustrous Shine lipstick. I don't know how I missed this one, but this one is in the shade Rum Raisin. And I love this one, especially in the fall. So I'm going to keep that one as well. I have one more liquid lipstick, and this one I'm going to be decluttering. I just remember this being very, very matte, and I remember it kind of crumbling after a while, so I just didn't find it to be comfortable. This is in the shade First Class, and I really like this shade. It looks like a mid-tone plum, but I just remember not liking this one, so I'm going to pass it along. This one I'm gonna keep. This is from M Cosmetics. This is the Lip Cushion Tinted Lip Luminizer in the shade Mona Lisa. I'm not gonna twist up this one too much because you can't twist it back, but I do like it. I just wouldn't repurchase it. But this one I remember being sheer but buildable. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep it because I do like how moisturizing this is. And I do like this nude shade. This one from ColourPop, I haven't worn in such a long time, but this is in the shade Fab, and this is pretty much a matte lipstick. I do really like this shade, but I don't reach for it anymore, and I remember it being a little bit unflattering on the lips, so any sort of like dryness or lines, it really emphasized. So as much as I love this shade and I am tempted to keep it, I don't wear it, so I'm gonna get rid of it. These are actually lip oils, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know why I had them in this container. Yeah, these are the tinted lip oils, which I was always kind of confused about because the texture and the pigment is pretty much like a lip stain. So yeah, I don't know why they call these lip oils because they're really just a lip stain. But I do like these. I don't love them though, just because they can emphasize lip lines and dryness. So I do like them and I do wear them, but I don't think I would repurchase these. So I have the shades Joy and Honesty. I wear the shade Honesty the most. It's a brown nude shade, so it's definitely the kind of shade that I wear often. Joy on camera looks almost orange, but it's more of a peach, I would say. And then finally, this one is from Kaja. This is the Love Swipe, and this is in the shade Swipe Right. But this is a really lightweight, moussey lipstick. It doesn't last very long, but I do find it very flattering, so I am going to keep this one. So those are all of the lipsticks that I'm keeping from this container. So it is actually the next day because I couldn't finish this video yesterday, but I'm going to make a few changes, and I kind of just took some time earlier today to really swatch and try on some of these lip products that I was a little bit unsure about. So I'm actually going to be decluttering these lip products over here, and I'm going to be keeping these. I tried on this Too Faced Melted Liquid Lipstick earlier, and I realized that it's just too cool tone for me. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this one along. And then this one from Glamlight from the Rick and Morty collection. I always felt like it was a little bit too metallic on my lips, and I tried it on again today and I feel the same way. I don't actually like the way that this looks. This one from Buxom in the shade Pumpkin Chai Latte. I'm actually going to get rid of this one because it is from 2020 after all. And at first I didn't think that the texture or smell had changed, but I tried it on again today and it does seem a little bit off. So I am just going to get rid of this one. I don't have that much product left in here, so I did get a ton of use out of this one. The R.E.M. Beauty Matte Lipstick. This one is in the shade Tiramisu. I don't think this one is technically expired, but when I tried it on today, I didn't like the undertone. It was just way too purple and cool toned on me, so I don't remember it looking that way. I don't know if the color changed or maybe I just don't like shades like this anymore, but I don't think I'm going to be keeping this one. This semi-matte lipstick from Essence. This is in the shade Bold. It's a light peachy nude, but I did try it on with a few different lip liners and I just didn't like it. But I am keeping the other shade in Lovable. And then these two, I decided that I am going to keep. So this one from Fenty, this is in the shade Fireproof. I want to give this one another chance because I really haven't worn it very often. I honestly only remember wearing it maybe twice. And it is a very, very pretty brick red shade, but this one is extremely pigmented. So when I was playing around with it today, I only applied a tiny little dab in the center of my lips, and I did really like how it looked with some of my lip liners. So I'm gonna keep it for now and really give it a chance and try to wear it at least a few more times before I get rid of it. And then this mini Gucci lipstick, I decided that I also want to give this one a chance because it is a rusty red shade. I just have to figure out what lip liners I want to pair with this because on its own, I just didn't love the way it looked. So I'm going to test this out with a bunch of different lip liners in my collection. I did try out a few today with this and I found a couple that I could maybe wear with it. So I changed my mind. I am going to keep this one for now. So again, these I am decluttering. And then these two I'm actually going to keep. And I almost forgot to talk about these lip stains from Sushi Glow. I am definitely keeping these because I'm still playing around with them. They can get messy because they are so pigmented and they are red. So still trying to figure that out, but I do really like them so far. And yeah, I'm going to keep those. Okay, so now I can actually get into my lip liners. Let's go ahead and start with Drugstore. This one, I already know that I'm going to be decluttering. This is from the e.l.f. Tinder collection. Being realistic, I never ever wear red shades like this, so I'd rather just pass it along. I only used it, I think, once. This is in the shade Ready for Anything. Because this lip liner formula is very creamy, it doesn't fully set down, so I do feel like it moves around quite easily. So I am going to pass this one along. And I'm going to go ahead and pull out all of my other e.l.f. lip liners because I do have a few of them. So these are all of my e.l.f. Cream Glide lip liners. These are kind of like a lipstick lip liner hybrid in my opinion. I do really enjoy these. So I have Baddest Beige, Mauve Side, Spill the Tea, and Dark Cocoa. I would say my favorite one is Baddest Beige. I've definitely worn that one the most. And I also really like Mauve Side. So I'm going to keep all of these except for Dark Cocoa, just because I don't wear super deep brown shades like this anymore. So I am keeping Baddest Beige, Mauve Side, and Spill the Tea. These Revlon lip liners, I do have two of them, and I love both of these. I feel like I wear both of them equally. I like these because they are creamy, and even though they aren't quite as long wearing as something like the Maybelline Lifter liners, they do wear a decent amount of time, and I love that these have a brush on the end. I have Dynamic Doer, which is a mid-tone neutral shade, and As Is, which is a mid-tone warm brown. I love both of these pretty much equally, so I am going to keep them. I have 3 of these NYX lip pencils, which I do really enjoy, but for some reason, I just keep forgetting to use these. I think I just keep using my newer lip liners, so I'm going to try to use these, but I'm going to go ahead and swatch all 3 shades and see if there's anything that I don't really like anymore. I have Natural, Nude Truffle, and Nude Beige. I do remember really liking natural and nude truffle, but nude beige I think is a little bit light for me, so I kind of want to declutter it, but I also want to try it on and see if I still like it or not. I probably should have done that before filming this video, but I'm going to keep all three for now and play around with them. And as you can see, this one is my least used one out of the three of them. So I'll keep them for now, but I'll have to see if I still like nude beige. I have a few ColourPop lip liners, and I think I have two of the same ones actually. So I think these two are both BFF. Okay, both of them are the shade BFF. And I remember I used to love this lip liner, but I feel like it's just a little bit too light and nude for me now. I did swatch both of them just in case they're a little bit different from each other, but they do look pretty much identical. You know what? I'm actually going to keep one of these. I don't mean to be so indecisive, but I'm just going to keep the newest one, which is this one. It is a lighter warm nude shade, so yeah, I'm just going to see if I like it. And then as far as the other ColourPop lippy pencils, I'm going to swatch these as well. So these are Beeper, Curvy, Avi, and BFF2. Beeper is the most cool toned out of the four, but it is a really pretty shade. And Curvy I used to use constantly, but I remember loving this shade, and it was actually from the e.l.f. Sarai collection. So technically all four of these are expired, but they seem fine. So I'm just going to keep all four of these, and I'm going to try to use them way more this year. This one from About Face, I'm going to declutter because it is a really, really deep brown. I do like this formula though. It is very creamy, but it does dry down to a very matte finish. But unfortunately, I just never wear a deep brown lip shade anymore. This one is also from About Face, but this one is in the shade Cradled. And this one I think I am going to keep. Yeah, I'm going to keep that one because it is a warm nude shade, but it doesn't look too peachy. These lip liners from Essence, I honestly don't ever use. They are nice matte lip liners, but I think I just have so many other ones that I prefer over this. I have Cinnamon Spice and Hazelnut. So actually, I'm going to keep Cinnamon Spice, but I really don't care for the shade Hazelnut, so I'm going to keep Cinnamon Spice only. This one from Wet n Wild, I am going to keep because I really do like this formula. This one is called Lay Down the Mauves. Yeah, I really like this shade. It's more like a mid-tone mauve shade, so not too light. So I am going to keep this one. These Milani retractable lip liners, I actually have 4 of these. I'm gonna swatch these because I don't know if I want to keep all of these, but they are a very, very creamy retractable formula. I have Cafe au Lait, Cinnamon Statement, Saucy Toffee, and Rich Cocoa. I'm gonna declutter Rich Cocoa, and I think I'm also gonna declutter Cinnamon Statement, which I rarely ever use. The Maybelline lifter liners I'm definitely keeping because these are some of the best drugstore lip liners that I've ever tried. They're super, super long wearing, and these 2 shades are just perfect. So these are On It and Big Lift. I have 3 of these NYX retractable lip liners. Honestly, this is one of the best lip liner formulas at the drugstore. It's also very long wearing, and my favorite one is Sand Beige. This is such a good pinky brown shade. So that is Sand Beige, Cocoa, and Dark Red. I really like this shade Cocoa because it is a brown shade, but it's kind of like a mid-tone and it is warm. And since I am keeping the Fenty Beauty Fireproof lipstick, this shade, Dark Red, is going to pair really nicely with that. I did actually try it this morning and I thought it looked very pretty, so yeah, I'm going to keep all 3. This one is the Maybelline Color Sensational Shaping Lip Liner in the shade Totally Toffee. I used to use this one all the time, but I just haven't reached for it in a really long time. And this formula is not as long wearing as their new formula, but I still really like it, so I am going to keep it. And then this one from LA Girl. This is the Ultimate Lip Intense Stay Auto Liner. Now, I really like this one, but it does break very, very easily. For that reason, this is how much I have left. Not because I actually used it up, but because it kept breaking on me. But I am going to keep it, and I'm just going to use up whatever I have left. Okay, never mind. It did dry out. I could barely get it to swatch, so I think I'm just gonna have to toss that one out. Yeah, I don't know what is up with this formula, just breaking so easily and drying up. I don't think I've even had it for more than maybe 2 years, so I don't think I would actually repurchase this one, even though I really, really like this shade, and I think I forgot to say what shade this is, but this is in Keep It Spicy. So here are the drugstore lip liners that I am keeping, and then these 8 I am decluttering. So time for high-end lip liners. This one from LYS. This is actually the only lip product that I've ever tried from them, but I do really like this lip liner. This is in the shade Driven, which is a terracotta mauve. It is long wearing and it does have a matte finish, so I am going to keep this one. I have used up quite a bit of this. The Jaclyn Cosmetics lip liners, I do have 2 of these, and I still love these, and surprisingly they haven't dried up yet. I wish I would have picked up a few more shades before she shut down her brand. I have Hot Tea and Bourbon. These are both such good shades, so definitely keeping them. I am going to be sad when I run through these eventually. The Tower 28 multi-liners. I use this shade the most. This one is in Work of Art, and this one reminds me of Iconic Nude from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm gonna have to swatch them side by side, but I'm definitely keeping this one. And this one, even though I don't love as a lip liner, it is a multi-liner, so I'm gonna start using it as an eyeliner just so I can use it up, because I do like this formula, but this deeper brown shade I just never use. And this one is in Draw Me, but here is Work of Art and Draw Me. I think Draw Me is gonna be a really nice eyeliner shade. I don't think I've ever used it like that for some reason, but I'm gonna try it like that. So I am decluttering Draw Me, and I'm gonna keep Work of Art. And I do wanna see if Work of Art looks like Iconic Nude. I have a feeling that they do look similar. Okay, never mind. They're not as similar as I thought they were. I did put Iconic Nude right underneath Work of Art. I would say Iconic Nude looks a little bit warmer, so definitely not as similar as I thought they would be. But I am keeping Iconic Nude. This is such a good classic lip liner. The Rare Beauty lip liners, these I'm definitely keeping. This is one of my favorite lip liner formulas. So there is Wise and Gifted. I actually think I'm almost out of Wise. It's kind of hard to twist up now because I don't have that much product left. But this one is one of my most used lip liners in my collection. So keeping both of these. This one is technically a lip stain, but it is called the Lip Liner Stain. And I've tried this, I want to say, a couple of times, and I don't know how I feel about it. It's just a little bit tricky to work with in my opinion, but this one is in the shade Clover 05. It has a really long wand or doe foot applicator, so I also found it tricky to apply because of that. So I don't know if I should keep playing around with this and testing it, or maybe I should just declutter it. I'm just going to declutter it because I know that I'm not going to use it. Don't get me wrong, it is an interesting product, and I had never tried anything like this. It is a peel-off lip liner, so I'm going to pass it along. These are the Kimchi Chic Yum lip liners, and I haven't used these much because the shades are a lot lighter than I expected. They just looked different in the swatches. I have Almond and Toast. I just expected them to look a little bit deeper than this, so I just feel like I have to keep playing around with them, and I'll see how they pair with my lipsticks and glosses. So I'm going to keep testing them. I am going to keep both of them. I have 3 of the Freck Beauty Makeup Club lip liners, and I love this formula because it's super, super long wearing, and I have the shades 3, 4, and 5. Shade 3 I've probably used the least out of the 3 of these, just because it's a little bit lighter than what I'm used to. I did try it on today, and I noticed that it was pretty light, but I don't know if it was just the lighting. Maybe it kind of washed it out because I don't remember it being that light when I first purchased it. I swatched them kind of out of order, but that is shade number 3, 5, and 4. Shade 3 is a little bit light, but I have a feeling it might have been the lighting that made it look even lighter. So I'm gonna keep it for now, but I'm just gonna have to test it with my lipsticks and glosses. So I'm gonna keep all 3 of these. I used to love these Persona lip liners, but I have been neglecting them. I have the shades Rosewood and Almond. I'm gonna declutter Almond. It's a lighter peachy nude shade, which I don't love anymore. So I'm only gonna keep Rosewood, and clearly I did use that one a lot more than Almond. Yeah, Rosewood I still really like. It's a mid-tone neutral brown. The Anastasia Beverly Hills lip liner. This one is in the shade Deep Taupe, and this one is one of my all-time favorite lip liner shades. It's a bit of a drier formula because it is a pencil lip liner and you do have to sharpen it. So I found that lip liners like that are usually drier, but it doesn't feel dry on my lips and it doesn't really tug either. This is just a really nice deep taupe. I think the shade name is perfect, so definitely keeping this one. I'm also keeping my Makeup by Mario lip liner in the shade Toasty. This is another favorite of mine and it is just the perfect pinky brown shade. I love that this one has a brush on the end. So that is the shade Toasty. I do want to pick up at least one more shade in the future. Let me know if you have any recommendations. I'm also keeping these Sephora Collection Rouge Gel Lip Liners. I like that these aren't completely matte because I don't really have lip liners with this finish. That is Rosewood and Dress to the 90s. They do have a slightly shiny finish, or I guess it's more of like a satin finish. So I do like using these as lipsticks, and they are pretty long wearing, especially for not being a matte finish. So I'm gonna keep both. I have two of these Fenty Beauty traced out lip liners, and honestly, I don't love these. I haven't used them in a little while, but I do remember that they dry down super fast. So I might just keep one of these. From what I remember, I did really like the shade Rubber Bands. So that is Rubber Bands and Peanut Butter. I am gonna declutter Peanut Butter because I really don't use this one. And again, I don't love this formula, so I only wanna keep the shade that I really like. So I'm gonna keep Rubber Bands and pass along Peanut Butter. So these last four lip liners that I have are all from Makeup Forever. These are the Artist Color Pencils. I do have two of Anywhere Caffeine. This mini one did come in a holiday set, so that is why I have two of them. But honestly, I don't know when I'm gonna end up opening this, so I think I'm just gonna give this one to my sister. I don't know that she's ever tried any lip liners from Makeup Forever, so I'm gonna ask her if she likes this one. If not, maybe someone I know will want this, but I don't want it to go to waste, especially because I still have this full-sized one. So I'm gonna pass along the mini and I'm gonna keep this one. And then I also have Wherever Walnut and Limitless Brown. I haven't used these as much as Anywhere Caffeine, but I do really like this formula. It's not as pigmented as other ones, but it is buildable. So that is Anywhere Caffeine, Wherever Walnut, and Limitless Brown. Limitless Brown I haven't used often because it is a deeper brown shade, but I'm gonna keep it because I can use it as an eyeliner. I decided that I'm actually going to declutter these four lip liners. I tried on all four of these and ColourPop BFF is too light. Same with NYX Natural. And Nude Beige, this one is light and it's also very cool toned. These are also very dry now, but I think that's because they're a few years old. And then ColourPop Beeper. This one looks almost purple on me. And when I did try to apply it, it kind of started crumbling. I think it's just because it's super old now. So I am going to declutter all four of those. I had to just kind of try them on and see how I felt about them. So in total, I am decluttering 16 lip liners. And then these are the lipsticks and lip glosses that I'm decluttering. I counted 27, but here is everything that I'm keeping. It's still a lot, don't get me wrong. This is a lot of makeup for one person. But since I do have a YouTube channel and I'm always testing new things, and I'm just a makeup lover and collector, so this is a lot, but this is definitely more manageable for me. Alright you guys, so that is it for this lip product declutter. I feel like that was a success. I feel a lot better about the products that I do have. And like I said, I will be donating as much as I can to friends and family. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, but I will see you in my next one. Bye!